This is where the fun begins. And, I don't know how many breakout stars you guys did, but I put 3 down. I did 2 males and 1 female.
Man, I did not do that many. I did 1.
That's fine. Who's your breakout star, Paul?
My breakout star, Ricky Starks.
All right.
All right.
I think that's a pretty safe bet.
I mean, I don't think I'm going to see him as world champion at the end of 2023, but they've given him that push that he needed forever ago when they put him with Team Taz that they failed to give him. And I think we're starting to see that. And I think we'll see that continue through the majority of 2023.
I think he gets a big win next week.
I think so too.
I think so too. I didn't have Ricky in there because I feel like he's already got the
kind of above that.
My big one, and I think tonight proved it. Hook.
All right, I can get behind that, Shep.
I think we're going to see more of him. Hopefully, we're starting to see him on Dynamite, just not Rampage.
Tonight was awesome.
I know he's worked a couple enhancement talents. I'm not going to call the word. So yeah, Hook is definitely one. And just because he brought him up tonight, he wasn't on my list, but he's on my list now. Action Andretti. Obviously, Jericho has something for this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Jericho has so much influence in this company. He's going to push him.
Yep. I had Action Andretti as one of my males just because I'm right there with you. I mean, he beat Jericho. They're making a big deal about it. He got fireballed last week. Jericho brings him up on the promo tonight. He's going to be coming back soon. He's got to get involved in this story. He's not going anywhere. This one I'm just hopeful because I like the turn and I'm ready to see what this guy can do. Preston Vance. I'm ready to see what he can do. They got the mask off him. He's a heel now with Roosh and those guys. I'm ready to see what he can do.
He's got a great look too.
Yeah. I mean, he's athletic. Brody Lee chose him for a reason. He saw potential in him. Then my female is Willow Nightingale. We're starting to see her more and more on TV. I think she's really ready to break out in 2023.
She was my female as well.
Paul, you have any females?
Willow. Yeah.
I think it's a pretty safe pick.
Yep.
Trios title. Who do you think will be holding the trios at this time in 2023?
Shep, you go first.
And I don't know why I thought this, and I wrote it down first. And I don't know if it's just because I don't know. I have the best friends holding it down, and it's not Orange. It's Trent, the Kentucky Gentleman, and Danhausen.
Entertaining.
And that's the only thing I can think of, and I'm like, I think the Dark Order dissipates over this year, with Hangman and they're starting to lose members the way it is now. I think the Bucks move on. I think the Lucha Bros move on. I don't know. I think it's the stupid best friends. So that's who I got.
Paul, you mind if I jump in here?
Go right ahead.
I'm afraid this team's going to win it well before the end of next year, and I don't know how long they'll keep it. I got the House of Black. I think they take it off whoever ends up winning this best of 7 series eventually. I like what they're doing right now. They're just showing up.
Wins. Jeez, we already know who's going to win.
Yeah, I think it'll be the Elite. And then I think, when we were in Indianapolis, they laid waste to Cutler. And, Malachi made those comments to Cutler about it's not him, it's the guys that hold the power in the company. So I think there's something to that. And I think if, we can get them on TV as trios act, I think everybody's going to see how talented these dudes are. So.
I agree with you there, Tanner. And then I agree with you that they won't make it to the end of the year because I think you got to have Malachi as a singles competitor.
I do too.
So
that's I like your best friends because they're probably overdue to get some gold. To be honest, even though I'm not huge on them, but
could you imagine how entertaining Danhausen would be coming down with the title over his
Yeah,
shoulder?
he would be. He would be. So, Paul?
Best friends.
No.
I
Glad I went
also
second, then.
did not incorporate Orange Cassidy, but I did not incorporate Danhausen either. I incorporated Trent's tag partner.
Rocky?
Yes.
Rocky Romero. Yeah.
Thank you. I wanted to say Ricky, and I knew it wasn't right. So I was just like, I'm just going to say Trent's other tag partner.
Well, let's go to the women's division, the TBS title. This is a tough one.
This was a tough one.
I got Willow Nightingale.
Well,
All right. I like that choice. I might like that choice a little bit better than mine, but I'm just sticking with my guns. I went with Ruby Soho.
God, if you went with what's her face, I was gonna laugh at you.
No,
AJ?
I don't think Ruby needs the women's title, at least to end 2023. But I think having some gold on her would be beneficial.
this is a tough one because I still don't know if any of these women we're talking about takes it off of Jade. I don't know what they're going to do, but I have Chris Statlander when she comes back from injury.
See, if I would have picked Statlander, you would have laughed at me.
No, I wouldn't have.
I get where Tanner's coming from on that. You're gonna have to have somebody eventually take it off
Yeah.
of Jade. But I feel towards the end of the year, I feel like it's going to be sooner because Jade's got to go for the women's championship. So the better half of the year, I feel like that title is going to be passed around, and that's why I thought Willow would be a good fit for that.
And I could see that because she's lost to Jade a couple times, but they're really starting to build her up. So, well, let's stick with the women's division. Who's your women's world champ at the end of 2023? I think we all might agree on this, but I could be
You
wrong.
first, Paul.
Jade Cargill. I think 2023 is the year of Jade. And I'm still not on the Jade Cargill train that everybody else is on. But I think the way they're building her, she's outlived the TBS championship. I think, as you said, Tanner, Statlander will come back, will take it from her. I don't think she's going to hold it at the end of the year, though, but she'll take it from her, and that'll free up Jade to move on to the women's division, the women's championship.
I got Jade as well, and why I was trying to explain my TBS prediction without giving this away is I could see Jade winning, holding both belts, and kind of relinquishing the TBS, so she never gets beat by somebody, but then it becomes open again and somebody else wins it.
I figured you two were going that way. I went with Soraya.
That'd be a good one.
I hope we see her more. Obviously, I think we will. But I think Tony knows there's maybe limited time there.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm not just calling her damaged goods, but to put a title on her as big as a name as she is, yeah.
I'm starting to get excited about where the women's division is going in 2023 because if we can get Jade in the big belt picture, get Britt back in there, I think that's a money feud eventually. Thunder Rosa gets healthy, Hayter, Storm, and I think we're going to get a big-time star join the company. I think January 11th. I think she's coming, boys.
Did you see her Twitter today?
Yeah.
I'm guessing she landed in Japan today.
Well, and somebody asked SRS today because they said Will Washington of Fightful said he puts at 90% that she shows up at the AEW. SRS is 75 to 80%. So when those guys are throwing out big numbers like that.
Well, the other thing is I also saw that there's no it's just an appearance at Wrestle.
Right.
And obviously Kairi Sane will be there.
Right.
Her and Kairi Sane in Japan. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, she's going to make big time money wherever she goes. I don't know if she'll be full time, but I think she shows up in AEW pretty soon.
Well, if she doesn't, you gotta have her and Soraya.
Yeah. That's that match on the 11th. She's got a surprise partner against DMD and Hayter. So
Yeah.
right there is a big time match. Especially if we see them put that in the main event, which I don't know if that would main event over the ladder match, but that's gonna be a big time Dynamite in 2 weeks.
If you got the ladder match as the main event, that's got to be your kickoff match.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the kickoff match even trumps your 8 to 9 o'clock hour match.
Yeah,
I always
agree.
feel like that has to be a huge spot because they want to steal those ratings. But God, if you could kick that match off with that, holy shnikes!
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good fun one in 2 weeks. All Atlantic title. This is a tough one.
Who's going first?
Whoever wants to.
I got it. Action Andretti.
Ooh.
All right. I went a little bit different here. Tying it back into the trio stuff, I went Danhausen.
Ooh.
I think he deserves a title run, and I think it'd be a good fit for him. We've seen it on Orange. We've seen Orange elevate it. Now let's have somebody else hold it.
Now, before you make your pick, Tanner, let me ask you guys a question. Would you consider this belt below the TNT title?
I would.
Yes.
Okay.
I call it equivalent to what the European title used to be in WWF.
Okay. So that's why I made my pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm picking a guy that it was a few months back said he was going to come for this title, Ethan Page. But everybody's forgetting about that. Like when Stokely was going down the line.
No, I haven't forgotten about it. I just don't think the last Wednesday of 2023 we'll see Ethan Page holding it.
That's fair. I almost went to Takeshita. I was real close.
Ooh.
I think that would be a good fit for him.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to try to put it on somebody not from the U.S. more times than not. But, yeah.
If Ethan Page holds it, as long as he cracks open Jackalope, I'm okay with it.
You raggedy.
Yeah.
He was funny. That hat was funny tonight, covering his
It
butt.
was.
He was mouthing it. He was mouthing it too, coming out of the.
He made me laugh 2 weeks in a row.
He knows what he's doing, unfortunately.
Still want to punch him though.
I know. Let's stick with the mid card TNT, which I was surprised tonight. I thought Wardlow was taking it off Joe, and I was surprised. That swerved me.
Wheeler Yuta.
Man, I was all over the board on this one, and I'm going back to my original pick, and it's out in left field times 10. Dante Martin.
Yeah, it was Paul's pick last year.
Yeah.
They're ready for a big time push. They brought it tonight, man.
Yeah, they did, but I don't see him as a tag team.
Dante's got the bigger ceiling now, the two higher ceiling. I should say.
He hasn't been hurt 2 times where he took a bunch of time off.
That's true.
And when his brother was hurt, they still pushed him. So
right, it's true. Yeah, I like that pick.
That was the farthest fetch pick I've had on the whole card.
Oh, I feel like Danhausen's probably mine.
Yeah. Still not as far fetched as Anna Jay last year, but
Hey.
Speaking of Anna Jay, I'm going Jack Perry as my TNT title holder.
All right.
Got to get some single gold on the guy eventually, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on my list.
Yeah. All right, tag titles. I thought this one was hard.
You can go first, Tanner.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping these guys come back in 2023. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, Cole's has back concussion. Kyle O'Reilly had neck fusion surgery, so I don't know if that's even possible. But if these guys come back, they're going to get big pops. I think you got to put them in big stories. I just threw it out there. I wasn't real proud of it, but maybe more hopeful than anything.
No shot for Bobby Fish.
No shot. He could stay in the Impact Zone.
He won his boxing match.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
he did.
With Sammy on commentary
Yeah,
or whatever he's
yeah.
doing.
I don't know. I went with Top Flight.
I
Um,
almost did that.
I mean, this was the hardest one for me to pick,
Yeah.
but they've done so well, and this one didn't even get picked until Dynamite tonight. With the showing they had tonight, I went, all right, they're going to be champs by the end of 2023.
I about switched it with the showing they had tonight, but I didn't.
Shep,
FTR.
Yeah. It'd be good for that storyline. It'd be good for the storyline.
Yeah, it would. It would. They spend the whole year working their way back up to get the shot at the gold and win it the last minute.
I think in my perfect world, which I think everybody should live in.
Only if I can drive that pretty blue thing that's in your showroom.
I think going into Wrestle Kingdom next year,
2020.
they hold all four.
You think they climbed the mountain again?
Yep. So
that'd be cool.
I think they take a break. They come back mid to late summer, and they just work their ass off. They go to AAA, they go to New Japan, they go to ROH, and then obviously AEW. So I think at New Year's next year they're holding off for belts. That's what I want. That's what's going to happen. I've already sent an email to Tony Khan. He hadn't responded, and it might be blocked. But
he's a pretty busy guy.
Hey,
if you get through to him, tell him you know a guy who would be great to be a manager for a heel.
You know, that's true. Only if there's a lot of lakes around, you get through.
Yeah.
I feel like though, if you would ever send that guy an email or a message, it would be opened up at like 3:14 a.m.
Yeah.
Because he sleeps from like midnight to 2,
Yeah.
and then he goes to work.
Yeah.
So
let's be honest. It's kind of like Vince. I guess to be a successful wrestling promoter, you have to have a weird sleep schedule.
Yeah, but I don't think Tony Khan sexually harasses a bunch of women. So
let's hope not.
Yeah.
Let's hope not.
Sorry, was that too much?
Nope. We've talked about it before on here, and it's truth. So, no FTW prediction from me. I don't know if you guys went with it, but I didn't even put in my prediction.
My prediction is I hope they get rid of the damn thing.
Yeah, I'm tired of it too. And I didn't do any ROH predictions. Did you guys?
I did not either. Apart from obviously Shep did FTR as tag team champions.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I got FTR as tag team champions, and I know I'm maybe fast forwarding here. I'm saying in 2023, we see the Briscoes on national television.
Is that your bold prediction then? Or you got another one to holster?
I got some more.
All right, good. Well,
I think you got to do it. Yeah. You got to do it.
Yeah.
I think the fact that we got the like photo package from Final Battle, that's progress.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
All right, world champion by the end of 2023. Paul, you start.
This is going out there a little bit, but I think it's where he was going before he had injuries. I went Adam Cole.
Oh, all right. Shep.
MJF.
Think he's going to hold it all year.
Yep.
I almost.
All right.
They made a belt for him. So
I almost gave this away.
They made a belt for Scorpio Sky too.
That was a sweet looking belt. He needs.
And he lost it.
Yeah, but he was a freaking Lakers fan. Screw him.
Yeah, it was a cool belt, but yeah, I agree. I don't like the Lakers. I almost gave this pick away a couple weeks ago, and I had to cover myself up real quick. Ricky Starks.
I almost went with him, but I thought that'd be too easy.
Look, I think you're going to see a lot of him in main events this year. And don't call me a Vince, okay? I don't.
Too small, right?
Got the size and the look. He's too small. Now, can he challenge for it and perform in the ring? Absolutely, but could you really put the belt on him? I don't know, man. I second guess it because of his size. Nothing against his work
No.
or his mic work. I think his mic work's getting better.
If he does win it, how I would book it is I have MJF run through majority of 2023, get cleared through full gear. Ricky gets a rematch from this year's winners coming at next year's, and kind of like when Omega took it off Mox, Ricky takes it off MJF winners coming. So
I figured Paul's going with Satnam Singh.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
oh
Mhm.
god,
Smart Mark Sterling.
Jeff Jarrett for everything.
Jeff Jarrett will hold every belt, including the women's division's belts, by the end of
Hey,
2023.
did anybody notice in that rap by Caster made fun of the Global Force Wrestling gold?
Yep,
The gold he was selling to try to fund that wrestling
he
program.
hit everything you could. Oh,
Yep.
It was
Yep.
it was there was gloves on.
Stealing money like Kurt Angle's wife.
Karen Jarrett tweeted about it. She's a little
she
fired
did?
up. She's a little fired up tonight.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what that means? You know what though? If he did that, let's
You
let's be
know he
real.
got it approved. I
He
mean,
got it
you know,
approved.
yeah,
And she's just being a mark.
playing right into it.
Yep.
Mhm.
I like the lethal line too. ROH's top guy at their worst point in the company, or whatever they said, lowest point. In the
And I love the fat machismo guy.
This was their best rap. They've had some good ones. This was their best one.
Yeah.
All right, bold prediction or predictions for AEW for 2023. I wanted us to go off the wall here. Some craziness. So.
All right. I'll give my first one.
All right.
I'm going to be wearing gold. I will be the KOP predictions champion at the end of 2023.
No. We said bold prediction, Paul, not dumb.
Hey, that is a bold prediction based off of my record since I got a perfect card.
Sorry, that was
I think Anna Jay's got a better chance of getting around her shoulder. than you.
Oh, ouch.
Ty Conti has a better chance of marrying Chris Jericho.
Hey, that could happen. That's possible.
Well, she is a homewrecker. Ooh.
Yeah.
Shoo, boy, that's true though.
He's not saying any falsehoods here.
I didn't like her beforehand, but that's all right.
Nope. All right. Paul threw one out. Shep, you got one?
Yeah. So 2023 prediction. You're gonna laugh at this one. Dax Harwood will carry an individual title.
I don't think that's that far fetched.
Yeah.
I think he proved he can do it.
And they were singles competitors going into NXT, let's not forget.
They were.
That's a good point.
They were.
Good point.
So
Well, mine might be a little bolder than these two, and this is something I don't really want to see. I just have a weird feeling we might see it. I think Bill Goldberg makes an appearance in AEW.
I quit.
No.
I think
I'm turning the
know if it's
TV
a
off
one-off.
and I will not be on that podcast.
I don't know if it's a one-off. I just have a feeling. I was reading stuff about his contract a couple weeks ago, and
Yeah, his contract's not gonna be.
it's up.
It's
so-
they're not gonna pick it up, which they shouldn't pick it up because he's awful.
I know. I used to be a big Goldberg fan when I was young, but I'm thinking, AEW gets a lot of comparisons to WCW. Tony likes bringing these guys in, even if it's for like one-off or nostalgia. I just have a weird feeling he's got to pop up at some point
No.
in 2023 in AEW.
If he does, sorry. I cannot be on that podcast.
That's fair. I told you guys I weren't gonna like it, but I was going bold.
All right.
Hope you don't take a drug test tomorrow, Tanner.
Yeah, well, I'm working from home.
Yeah,
Well,
you
it
need to
was
tell
either-
somebody to give you one because I think you're on something.
I could have went Shane McMahon.
There's a better chance. Well, hold on. Let me rephrase that.
If Shane shows up, the internet's just going to go with Vince owns AEW because they're already hinting that WWE has bought AEW
That's
because of
stupid.
something
That's
somebody
stupid.
said
Yeah.
once.
Look, I don't know. I don't think Vince McMahon has con money.
No,
Or let me rephrase this. I think they're so even that he doesn't have enough. He didn't have enough to trump him. So that'll never happen. what I'm my bold prediction. Well, it's not bold prediction. You're going to see Vince McMahon in WWE in 2023 because there's already rumors about him. He's going to show his ass up, and it's going to kill it's going to hurt the company. Good. I mean, I don't own stock in them. I know it's a public traded company. But that's going to it's going to happen. That dude's ego is so big. There's not a lot of arenas he can fit in. It's so damn big.
And after he comes back and everything tanks, NBC will buy the WWE.
I think NBC will buy WWE in the next TV go around.
Yeah.
I think Universal will.
If that's the case, that makes sure that Shane, Stephanie, and Vince
and Paul and Paul probably too.
Yeah, I'll take my money.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong Paul. Sorry.
The game. You got to talk like this.
Triple H.
Pretty much.
That time he beat up a fan for jumping in a match.
Yeah,
or that time that I just saw show up on Facebook earlier today that when him and Austin beat the holy crap out of Lita.
Yeah, I saw that. I've seen that.
Yeah.
It was just a tough spot.
Did you guys know 25 years ago tonight was Starrcade 97?
Yeah, I saw that. Bischoff called it shitty booking.
Fast count. You build the best build in a year and a half, and then you just ruin it.
Actually, you know what? Nick Patrick was one of the best officials. He was one of those guys that got involved in all the storylines. So I really enjoyed Nick Patrick back in the day.
Yeah. Well, it's still so stupid that's how they introduced Brett to the company with the whole playing off the screw job thing and just awful. And I saw yesterday was 24-year anniversary of the cattle prod at Stampede 98, which was in Denver with Scott Hall tasing Goldberg and Nash ending Goldberg's streak. And then I think next week, these are all bad WCW things, but next week is the 4th, next Wednesday will be the 23rd anniversary of the Finger Poke of Doom. Because Tony promised not to do anything like that on January 4th. So,
hey, there is nothing wrong with the Finger Poke of Doom.
Best bump Nash ever took in his career.
Yeah.
But any more bold predictions from you guys? Any talents you think we'll see pop up in AEW besides Mercedes or Bill Goldberg?
I have one more.
Okay.
By the end of 2023, we will get a graphic that this gentleman is all elite. And we've seen this man. Dan the Dad will be all elite by the end of 2023.
I can get on board with that one.
So could I. I mean, he went from nothing to he's blown up on the internet, and that's the type of guys that Tony looks for.
But his normal entrance song, he can't go out to.
Right.
Yeah, he'll have to switch something up, and they've got a whole freaking department of.
Well, Tony's got a checkbook.
A guy.
Yep.
I mean, he goes out to Kansas Wayward Son is what he normally goes out to.
Yeah.
Unless the elite let him borrow that for a night or something, but
probably not.
Yeah,
probably not. No,
probably not.
No,
unless they get bored with it and stop using it by then.
Well, they're too busy about working out their targets. Too.
Got to get those discounts out.
Yeah.
You got any debuting talent ship that you can think of?
Yeah, my debuting talent of 2023 is the Briscoes.
Yeah, I like it.
They will be somewhere. They have to be.
Yeah.
They're on the payroll, okay? At some point, Tony's going to have to lobby and say, I'm paying these guys. They're good. Just because they made a mistake in the early 2000s, stuff happens.
Yep.
They're coming on television.
My other one besides Goldberg debuting would be Kota Ibushi. I think we get him. I don't think he's a full-time talent, but I think we get him in a few matches in 2023 in AEW. But Mega wore a Ibushi shirt tonight in the Falls Count Underwear match, so
he did
a little Easter egg there. So
Going into 30 days ago, I was really hoping we'd get a Sami Zayn or KO, but listening to them over the past 30 days and that those guys are completely satisfied where they're at.
Yep.
So yeah.
Any talent you guys predict leaves AEW to go elsewhere in 2023?
Miro.
I was gonna say Miro until once again SRS today said Miro's locked up with so many years left on his contract. Unless Tony just lets him out of it, he doesn't see any way he can get out of it.
Well, let's not forget, we haven't found out what's going on with Andrade. We don't know what's going on with Punk.
And he's got a lot of years. He's got a lot of years left. So.
Well, hey, 5 minutes before we logged on, Dragon Lee signed with WWE today.
I did see that. Yep, on my phone while I was sharing this earlier. So yeah.
That's Rush's little brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
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 I have no idea what their contract status is, but
you got to think, we're coming up on the first wave of like the original AEW contracts. So, I think somebody maybe like Lance Archer leaves AEW. I don't think we'll see anybody huge maybe this year, but
did anybody listen to Lance Archer's interview today on Busted Open?
No. I just heard what you said about it. But
he was frustrated. He's frustrated.
As he should be. Had
he is 100% all in.
Okay.
No pun intended to AEW. Yeah, he had a great run over in New Japan, and he basically patted Tony on the back saying, hey, look, maybe because I feel underutilized in AEW, but you give me the freedom to go over and do the main event stuff in New Japan. Mm-hmm. He did the Junior Tag League. He did the G1 Climax. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2023 is going to be fun. If it's anything like 2022, it's going to be a crazy year for pro wrestling because like 22, like I said, we got Cody Rhodes leave a company he helped founded, go back to WWE. We had Stone Cold come out of retirement. We had Vince McMahon leave WWE. We had CM Punk and the Elite get in a fight and suspended. MJF take a hiatus almost from the company. So many storylines that happened in 2022 is one of the craziest, if not the craziest year in pro wrestling. That's just WWE and AEW speaking. Other promotions had their own storylines. So
right.
It's going to be fun.
So I have another bold prediction that just came about while we were sitting here talking because you two gentlemen were talking about it. Somebody who signed with WWE, and it piqued my interest because I knew I had seen the name. We've seen this happen once so far under Triple H's reign, where a WWE talent holds a belt for another company. Dragon Lee is one half of the AAA Tag Team Champions. He's one of the gentlemen that helped beat FTR tonight. And he's in WWE.
And you got Carl Anderson, the neverweight. Yep. Is it never open weight?
Yeah, I believe
never open weight.
Yep.
Never open weight champion over in New Japan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think we're going to see WWE start to work more with outside promotions.
Which I think if Triple H can get that done, freaking even better for us fans.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It is. More companies that can work together. And, I know we all prefer AEW over WWE, but it's good that these wrestlers have, multiple promotions, but two really big American promotions now. They can pick and choose. We're going to see a lot of hopping back and forth the next few years. And that's what was fun about the Monday Night Wars. People were hopping back and forth all the time.
Yeah. And towards the end of this year, at one point, I was a big fan of them. They wore on me towards the end of the year, but obviously Tony Khan came out and said, I'm not a big fan of working with GCW.
Right.
Just because of some of the stuff they did. I know Mox did his things with Nick Gage. The Briscoes came and worked a segment with GCW. They hailed the titles real quick. Daniel Garcia worked some GCW events this year. Ruby Soho worked some Thunder Rosa. I mean, they had a relationship, but towards the end of the year, I felt like that relationship went south, and the reason it was is Nick Gage, when he retained the title, beat the title for Mox because of Tanner's favorite lawyer, or Jackalope, whatever he is, and Big Bill Morrissey, Bob Dog, whatever the hell they call him now.
Big Bill.
Stop. So dumb. So dumb.
You said you were going to do every other name but it, and I told you I was going to do that accent every time. Big Bill.
So dumb. Anyways, Nick Gage got on the mic and basically smashed AEW, saying, "You're not going to let us work together in short." So, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of GCW's biggest pulls is going back to WWE anyways. So I think Cardona's going back.
I think Cardona's going back with his wife.
I think it's a horrible kept secret. So I think he'll be a Rumble. I'm surprised. So
he's got an AEW or not AEW NWA match coming up, doesn't he? What time?
Yeah, I'll be sure to watch that. My God.
Might as well call them the Funkadactyls.
Oh, he's awful.
There's a reason Nick Aldis left. Yeah.
If he was ever join AEW, then you two are carrying the podcast. I'm out.
No.
I'll be going back and watching Mondays and Fridays again if that happens.
The Funkadactyls were the best thing about that group.
Hey, where do you guys predict Nick Aldis shows up?
Wherever Nick Aldis feels like. The couch in his living room.
Well, I think Mickey ends up retiring from Impact soon. She has a title versus career match coming up.
Well, if he shows up in Impact, he's Magnus.
Magnus. I think he'll show up in WWE. I think he'd be a good fit there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think, I don't know. It'll be interesting if Tony signs as many people in 2023 as he did in 2022.
He signed a shit ton.
But he was granted a lot in cuts, too. I mean, Keith Lee, Swerve Strickland. Yeah. A lot of others I'm forgetting.
So what's the top 5 guys that Tony cuts and just lets them go?
Wow.
That's a good question.
Man.
I think Andrade's up there. I think he cuts Andrade before he would Miro. You can do stuff with Miro.
Both of those guys are
Andrade too, but I mean Miro they supposedly just don't have creative for.
Well, they had creative and he turned it down.
Turned it down, which we never heard who it was against. Man, that's a good question.
I could get rid of Sabian.
Yeah.
I'm over him all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of undercard guys like Luther's.
You know, one guy I was thinking.
I'm still sick of that dude. Get rid of him.
There's one guy I was thinking tonight, and I like watching this guy work, but without his manager, I don't know where he fits in. Luchasaurus. Without Christian, we haven't seen him since he lost to Jack Perry in that cage match.
I didn't like him in Ring of Honor.
I don't know without Christian, I don't know where he fits. I don't know where he fits.
Drop the Luchasaurus gimmick, rebrand himself, come back, do. This is Shep. You might remember this. I don't know if you will. Do like a Matt Striker scenario. Have him come back, address the fact that he's got these degrees, and try to educate the fans.
I don't want to watch a teacher again.
No, maybe not in the aspect of put the chalkboard in the middle of the ring.
Striker was like the PG version of Mean Posse or whatever those vested rich boys that used to run with Shane O'Mac were.
Mean
Mean
Street
Street Posse. Mean Street Posse. That's what Stryker was. He's a PG version of them.
Dolph
I
Ziggler
know,
was in there.
but I'm saying, have him do promos
Mean
and
Spirits,
stuff
sorry.
where he talks about how smart he is. Keep him as a heel, but bring in his true knowledge.
Yeah.
But the problem is, if they take that mask off him, because I'll admit this. I watched Big Brother. He was on that reality show. That's all I'm going to think of him whenever I see his face is Big Brother.
Yeah.
When he got fired from NXT, he was on Big Brother. Yeah. Because I had not heard of him at the time, and then
was that before our ROH?
Yeah, I think it was actually like right before Lucha Underground.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's way back.
Yeah, it was between like NXT and Lucha Underground. Yeah.
I didn't know he was with NXT.
Because it was like
Not
on
for
the lower
long.
third, it would say professional wrestler or something. I'm like, I've never heard of this guy. And I looked him up and go, he's fired from NXT. And then when I found out he's Luchasaurus, I'm like, oh my God, that's the same guy. He actually made something of himself.
Yeah, and he brings that up in an episode of BTE when he's hunting for his tail.
No, Jesus. I'm about to log off now because I didn't think we ever got to talk about that again.
Hey, we're talking 2022 here, aren't we?
That's true. Was that in 2022?
I don't know.
Well, I thought it was 2020.
It was so terrible.
I think it was 2020.
It might have been COVID related. I don't know. It's just, it was the worst BTE segment I've ever seen.
Let's get rid of Nick Nemeth while we're at it. Get rid of him.
Yeah, we can get rid of Nick.
Fire him. So I don't see him on BTE anymore. It's ruining the vlog.
Yeah. The only reason he is there is because he's Dolph's brother.
I know.
So I got one guy in mind. I'll ask you guys. And this was not in any of our conversations before. What's one AEW guy that you think shows up in WWE next year? Now, I know we don't know everybody's contracts, but just off the top of your head.
This guy's a title holder right now, but I know his contract's got to be coming up, and I know he was pissed at one time, but now he's in a lot better spot with the company. I'm going Brian Cage. He's got the look that, Vince isn't in charge anymore. Vince loves those muscly dudes, but I'll stick with Cage because I can't think of anybody.
You know what? I'll go with the guy that's hanging behind me on the wall.
Dustin? Yeah.
Dustin said he would have his final match in 2023.
I could see that.
So his contract comes up. He goes over to do backstage stuff with Cody.
Yeah.
You're going to laugh at me. Sammy Guevara.
I could see that. That doesn't seem very off the wall to me. So
I'd be fine if he did.
He has made a lot of comments about him and Cody and their friendship, and there's been a couple of other guys who have talked that way, and I've always gotten that vibe from Sammy. Then they put him in the Jericho Appreciation Society, and I went, his contract's up, he's going with Cody.
I think Scorpio's got a big contract, or I would say him. I think he just signed like a 5-year extension in like February when he had the TNT title. So he hadn't been on TV. He's like Miro. They don't know what to do with him.
Right.
So, yeah. Good stuff. We'll see how it all plays out. And but
now,
before
you wrote all this stuff down, right, Tanner?
I'm going to tomorrow when I re-listen to it so I can keep track of it. But before
you're going to make some graphics?
I'll make some graphics too so we can always look back on how bad we did.